everybody, we're back. Episode 34.
34.
By the time you guys see this, we will be on tour. And hopefully we've met several of you when this comes out. So we are excited and we are in full tour mode, I guess you could say, right?
Yeah.
So, but I wanted to talk about this morning. So you guys know, we've said it before, Donovan took a gap year. Like, he graduated last year. We said, all right, buddy, he was really nervous and anxious about going to school. And I'm like, if you don't want to go to college, let's figure something else out. He goes, no, I want to go to college. And I'm like, why? And he's like, because I don't want to be the only one in this family that doesn't have a degree. And I was like, damn, that's a good point. But it doesn't matter. School's not for everyone.
No.
He's like, well, and I go, well, why don't we think about it? Let's take a gap year.
Sure.
And in that year, you have 1 year so that you can figure out what you want to do or figure out at least what you want to try first,
Sure.
whether it's college, whether it's a job, like what do you want to try?
Yeah.
So this motherfucker waits a whole year and I ask, okay, what do you want to do? And he's like, I'm like, what the hell?
Well, I can picture him like what does he have to worry about? I mean, he still lives at home. He still, he has these famous sisters,
That's not the point.
No, I understand. I understand what you're saying. I'm just trying to get in his shoes.
Yeah.
What he's thinking. And it makes sense. He just turned 20. I remember when I was 20, I didn't know my ass from my elbow either.
You weren't even driving yet. You didn't even have a driver's license at 20.
See what I'm saying? So I understand.
Tate didn't get his driver's license until he was 21.
No, I was 22.
22,
23, yeah.
Dude, yeah. I couldn't wait.
Maybe.
By the way, I had been driving since I was like 13 years old.
Sure.
I was kind of forced into doing that.
Yeah.
But by the time I got my license, I couldn't wait. Like the day I turned 16, I was at the DMV trying to get my shit done.
I would have loved to be in that situation, but unfortunately, my youth, growing up at that age, that wasn't one of the things I pursued as a young.
It wasn't priority. So now that you're saying this and reminding me, you were the same way.
No, I know. That's why.
I know. I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah.
I'm saying you were the same way.
I was the same exact way. Late bloomer, kind of like not really knowing or understanding the future is coming, and what, like career wise, what drives me, what.
Well, you also had a sugar mama. Like,
well,
I had like 3 jobs.
Yeah, you were already going through that whole experience. I didn't.
I paid for everything.
I did stuff when I had jobs when I lived in Samoa. I worked over there.
But I wasn't in Samoa.
No, I know that. I'm just saying when I was young, I did them, and I understood the importance of them. But I just remember at that time, I just, like him, same thing. I was fortunate to have a girlfriend that had a job and money, and that was never really a focus. I remember I wanted to work. I remember I told you, and when you and my old brother started working at Costco. Before it was Costco, it was Price Club, and I said, hey, I want a job there too, and you guys got me a job there. Remember?
I don't remember it like that, but that's okay.
I told you I wanted a job.
I remember telling you got to get a job. This is ridiculous. I remember telling you have to get a job, and you were not happy with it.
I was happy to work. I was happy to have a job.
Okay.
Come on.
Hey, kids, as you get older, your memory starts to go a little bit.
I did.
Hey,
so I didn't want to. So you married a guy who did not want to work for a living. Like you said yes to a guy that said I don't want a job.
No, but you got a job, and I said, all right,
babe, come on. We just went like last episode was what?
What?
We went over personality. We went over the personality trait, and I'm a defender, and in that defender, I work hard.
Did it say liar at the bottom?
There was no liar there. There was I work hard at everything I do. I try my best at everything.
Hey,
so
one thing no one can ever accuse me of is being a gold digger.
I'm saying the same thing. I'm saying the same exact thing. So don't point your finger over here, bud.
Sure, Jan.
See, and then that's the
serial killer.
Yes.
That's the serial killer.
And then
laugh.
that's the pushing of the buttons. Because she knows she got it. I got the button now. Now that's why this doesn't stop. The laughing, the giggling. You see what I'm saying? It's not gonna stop. She tried to play it out. What do you mean? I'm not. You see it right here. You see it right here.
Listen.
I have proof. You guys have it. It's on camera. She's doing it right now. This is called pressing the buttons because Tate made the face. And then Tate made the face. Tate did the serial killer laugh. Boom, got him.
How is that
press
not
the
funny?
button, press the 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 button, right?
How is that not funny? That's so funny.
All of a sudden, I took so much offense to you. I remember telling you, I took so much offense to that. Isn't that crazy? I should, and that's the personality trait again, the defender.
Listen, if you guys
took that shit personal.
If you guys are new here and you haven't watched, this is the first episode you're watching, go back and watch the one before this. You'll understand what we're talking about.
The personality traits are all coming out.
And why we're laughing so much.
Yeah.
It's not what he's saying that makes me laugh. It's the way he gets so riled up and the face that he makes. Yeah. I can't help but laugh. It's so ridiculous.
It is. You're right. But you know how to do it. And as you can't help but laugh, I can't help but take it personal. Right?
Oh, my head hurts right here. My muscles in my head hurt from laughing so hard.
The good thing is I understand it. And although going through the process of it, I still have these issues with it, but I understand it. It's all fun, no big deal. It's like whatever. I'll laugh it off too. It's all good. Okay. You know? Serial killer laugh.
Oh, I have to stop laughing. My stomach hurts. Okay, so where I was going with this story was I had a brain blast last night, and I told my son, I said, hey, because we're like, okay, you're going to go back to school in the fall. You're going to take general ed classes.
You're also going to play football.
You're going to play football. And he's like, no.
Yeah.
He's like, why?
Yeah.
You had a year, buddy. Time's up. We got to figure it out. So you need structure. So we're going to put you in a structured atmosphere, environment.
Sure.
And then if you're not going to like it, we already know this. So you're going to figure out, really, you're going to get basically, I'm going to be holding his feet to the fire by putting him in something that he already knows how to do, which is football, and go to school.
Yeah, and through that, he'll figure out what he wants to do.
Hey, I know I don't like this, but I really want to do this, right? But then last night, I had a brain blast, and I said, this kid is always, and it was because after we recorded last night, Tate tells Donovan, hey, I want to eat pancakes. I don't know, 10 o'clock at night.
Well, we were watching that show, and that girl was eating, the Simone Biles.
Simone Biles, yeah. They were making waffles.
Yeah, she was eating waffles, and I was like, holy crap.
Yeah, that was like 2 days ago.
Yeah.
So yesterday, he goes, I want pancakes. So Donnie, I've told him how to make my famous pancakes, right?
You taught him how to make it. He knows how to make it.
Yeah. So he goes and makes it while we're recording.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, when we went to bed last night, I was thinking, you know what? This kid has loved to cook, his whole life, since he was little, all the way up until now.
Yeah.
Him and his uncle every Saturday used to we would send them recipes, hey, nothing too extravagant or too hard. And I would send it to my brother-in-law, and he would go, okay, cool. Me and my sous chef are going to make it on Saturday.
Yeah.
So that was kind of like a little tradition that we started.
Yeah.
Then things got busy, and then it kind of fell off, right? They kind of fell off. And they were doing this for all of COVID, almost 4 years.
It seemed like every Saturday looking forward to
some kind of new recipe.
Yeah, some kind of new meal or recipe. And we had our favorites that they repeated. Yeah. It was pretty cool.
Yeah. So then we're like, what happened to the Afawalo Cafe Afawalo? What happened to that? Right. And so everybody got busy, my brother-in-law included. Yeah. And so last night I was thinking, because, I'm like, this boy, because I told him today, we're going to get online, we're going to figure out your classes and stuff. Yeah. But last night after he made the pancakes and you were devouring them, because he's really good, because he's very meticulous about stuff, right? I thought, what if he went to culinary school?
Yeah, I remember I said that, but what if this guy did some chef stuff? What if he cooked? To send him to cooking school, right? And then you said, Jason said that before, right? Didn't you say?
No, see the memory? This was my brain blast last night. But which, by the way, I had said this 2 years ago when he was still in high school, because he took that cooking class his senior year.
Sure.
The last semester of his senior year. And I kept telling him, you should be a chef.
Well, however it came about, it's
I'm going to take credit for this.
It's coming into fruition, right?
But so I thought about it last night, and I told him this morning, dude, we're going to go to the gym, and when I get back, while we're gone, I want you to go online, and I want you to look up culinary schools that you could go to. He called us while we're on our way home, and he's like, Mommy, I found a really good one, and it's really close to our house. And I was like, hell yeah, brother. So I came home and I looked at it. It's great. It's like a starter program. 9 months, he'll get an associate's degree in culinary arts. I thought that was awesome.
Yeah, it's great.
So now he's on cloud nine, you guys, because now he feels like he has purpose. He has, his direction on what he wants to do. And I thought that was really fucking cool. Okay, well, that was my story to share with you guys, because I think it's going to be kind of cool. And maybe I will have him document it for it's only 9 months, and he'll get his associate's degree.
Right.
That's fucking cool, dude.
It is.
And when he heard 9 months, and he goes, not 4 years. I go, well, if you want to take this to the next level, it'll be, a couple more years. But for now, let's just do one step at a time, buddy. And he goes, all right. So he's fired up.
That's what I like.
Yeah.
The excitement. Because I asked him, as you're looking into this, like, we're also thinking about playing football. What sounds better, And then his obvious answer was, I'd rather do this.
Yeah.
And then him saying that and then looking into it, being interested, that's all I worry about.
And taking initiative.
Yeah,
he already signed up. Like,
Yeah.
He's just waiting. He has to talk to a counselor now. Like, he did that all on his own just right now. And I'm like, usually it's like pulling teeth.
Yeah. That's why I'm proud of him.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
So I'm just excited we get to partake in his chef. I go, ooh, and then we get to call you Chef Donovan. That would be really cool. And he was like, oh, okay, maybe, right? So anyway, okay, speaking of kids, we love to look at all of your guys' ideas. Hey, can you guys talk about this? Can you talk about this? Keep them coming, because we love them. Even if we haven't gotten to them yet, you guys, doesn't mean we're not going to. Just keep them coming. But sometimes we look at ideas, right? And then we go, hey, like, I don't want to do this, but in this same vein, let's do this. For example, one of you guys submitted, hey, I'm really struggling. I've had a really shitty childhood.
Yeah.
And I want to heal my inner child. I can't go to therapy because I can't afford it yet. But can you give, because I've talked about coming from foster care and having a really tumultuous childhood. And can you talk about how you healed your inner child? Because it seems like you did.
Sure.
Well, I can't remember what your name was because I didn't write it down. But I'm still working on it. I'm old as Jesus, and I'm still working on it. That shit doesn't go away.
No.
However, I kind of shy away. I'm being completely transparent. I shy away, and you know this. I shy away from heavy topics because I want to keep this. We want to give you love. We want to give you advice, but I kind of don't want to trigger myself either.
Sure.
Because it's been rough. So, but looking at that when we were like, kind of getting all these topics together, I go, I don't want to go down the rabbit hole on this.
Sure.
Because that's too heavy. However, how about we do talk about healing things we do today that somehow heals our inner child?
Sure. I'll be honest. I think they're going to want to hear some of that.
Right?
But that's no.
Yeah.
They're going to want to hear some of that.
Some of the trauma?
Yeah, but that's for a different episode. I'm just saying they're always curious.
Yeah.
Even with all their comments and questions and stuff. So I have a feeling they're going to comment, hey, we're going to want to hear some of that. So maybe on a different episode.
Well, or maybe never. That's on me, right? That's up to me.
But to keep it lighthearted, yes, indeed. To keep it childlike, yes, indeed. There was stuff that I missed out as a kid that somehow came into my adult life. I didn't really know what it was at the time when I was.
You were just doing it?
I was just doing it.
Yeah.
And then as you learn later, you understand, oh, man, I wonder why, because I didn't do it as a kid.
Yeah. Or I wanted to do more of it, or I wasn't allowed to.
Yeah.
I
or
totally
I
get
still
that.
do it.
Yeah.
Or you know what I mean, as a kid.
But what kind of prompted this topic, you guys, because we're going to talk about things we do that we figured out heal our inner child, and it wasn't on purpose.
No.
And
Not at all.
I had a really fucking cool experience just recently. And that's number one on my list, and we'll get into it. But that's kind of like I took that idea and the followers' idea and kind of mushed them together, and here we are.
Yeah.
Episode 34, and you're going to get all the cool things we do, or we think they're cool. And come to find out, it's little things that we do to heal our inner child.
And I'm really excited to share because I love doing these things.
I know. And one of your things, I'm gonna tell a story about it because it's really funny. But anyway, let's get started.
Okay, you go first because you piqued interest on the number one there. I'm sure you did.
You guys, I'm gonna try and keep. It's a long story, but I'm gonna try and keep it really short.
Yeah.
So Drew had the opportunity to go on to DIY Laura So she is, a famous YouTuber, and she wanted to have Drew on her podcast. We go to LA, we pull up in the neighborhood, right? Because it was at her house, and we pull up in the neighborhood, and the driver's pulling up, right? And as he pulls up, I'm looking across the street, and I'm like, oh my God. Is that the Brady Bunch house? Right? And then Dason goes, nah, it looks too small. Right? And Drew goes, I don't know. Is it? She goes, oh, I don't know. Right? Yeah. So we get out. The driver opens my door. I get out and I'm looking. I was like, I don't know, man. Those blue doors. Looks just like it. Blue doors and those like brass handles, like on the front door. I was a big Brady Bunch head. Okay. Growing up watching Brady Bunch. Here's why. I was in a shit childhood and I was addicted to TV because I could lose myself in watching TV. Yeah. Right. And just escape. We all were. Right. Yeah. So that's why when my kids grew up, I let them watch as much fucking TV as they wanted because that's literally, I'm not even joking, it saved me. Yeah. Brady Bunch, I Love Lucy.
I agree.
Little House on the Prairie. Yeah. Those are my 3 shows that to this day bring me so much fucking joy. Right?
Three's Company, don't forget about that.
Oh, Three's Company. And I got a whole list. Maybe we'll do a whole episode on shows that we watched. And as because most of you guys probably haven't even heard of them or seen them, maybe it'll turn you on to something cool, right?
Seriously, Happy Days, Laverne and Shirley.
Dude, don't get me started.
The list goes on.
But my top 3, okay? My top 3. Number 1, I Love Lucy. Number 2, Little House on the Prairie. Number 3, Brady Bunch. Right? Those are my 3. So we pull in this neighborhood. We're looking at it. I don't know, whatever. Fast forward, we go in there. There's no room in the podcast studio for Dason and I, which is fine. We stayed downstairs and we were talking, to Laura's assistant. Her husband comes home. So funny. Jeremy comes home. And he's like, hey, my name's Jeremy, blah, blah, blah. Super cool guy, right? We're shooting the shit. And I'm sitting there. And we had been sitting there for an hour already before he came, right? So we're talking, whatever. And there was a lot of noise going on across the street and you could hear it, right? Yeah. So my back's to the window and I'm talking and he's like, man, they're doing work out there. And I go, oh yeah, the construction over there at that house that looks like the Brady Bunch house. And he goes, oh no, that is the Brady Bunch house. And I went just like this, you guys. What? Wait, what? I can't tell you how crazy, I don't know what happened to me, man. I was fangirling. As if Chapel Roan walked into the room. I was that crazy. Sure. And I go, what? And he goes, yeah, that is the Brady Bunch house. And before he could even finish his sentence, I looked at Dason and I go, I told you that was the Brady Bunch house. And I was like, oh shit, wait, hold on. Reel it in. And then he was laughing. And then he goes, yeah, come here. So he goes to the window behind me, opens the shutters, right? And we're looking out there and he's telling me the whole lore about this house, right? How this lady, her and her husband bought it, and they were big executives at HBO or something. Then they got divorced, and she said in the divorce she wanted the Brady Bunch house, so she got it. Then HGTV said, "Hey, we want to film in this house, but we want to redo the inside because they filmed on a studio lot."
Yeah, and then the house itself on the outside.
It was just the outside.
That's what it showed on the show.
But they said we want to go inside, gut it, and make it look exactly like the Brady Bunch house. Jeez. And I go, and did they do it? And he's looking at me and he's backing up and he's going, yeah. And he goes, yeah, there's the owner right there. And the lady was out there and she was telling all these UPS drivers and everything. And I go, what is she having delivered? And he goes, dude. So he tells me that this show aired 2 years ago. So they did the whole inside of the house, aired 2-3 years ago. And in it, they were like, hey, we're looking for the original oven. We're looking for the original wallpaper. We're looking for, to make it look as real as possible. And to this day, 3 years later, people from all over the world are sending them stuff, sending this lady stuff. Hey, this is the bedspread from Cindy's bed. We want you to have for free. Yeah. And she's like, oh my God. So she has a garage full of shit she still hasn't even put in the house yet.
Oh shit.
So he's telling me this and I'm drooling and I'm like, ah. So you know how in cartoons when the eyes get swirly, they're all mesmerized or whatever, hypnotized? That was me. And so Jeremy's looking at me he's laughing because he's like, oh my gosh, she's so fired up. Yeah. He goes, do you want to go see it? And I was all, I was going to faint and I was like, I won't say no. And then he was like, okay, let me go run across the street and ask the neighbor. He's that guy who knows everybody in the neighborhood. Yeah. He's so nice. So I'm before I could say anything, he just jets out the door across the street. Yeah. And I was looking at Dason and she's like, and we had another podcast to go to after this, right? Yeah. And Drew's still upstairs filming. So I'm like, I don't even know. Right. So Dason goes, oh man, like, I can't believe you said yes. And I go, do you know that if I say no, I'm going to regret it for the rest of my life. I have to see this house. And so he comes back and he goes, oh, okay. She said, yeah, just give her like 10 minutes. She's going to tidy up in the house. And I go, okay, cool. And I ran over and I'm like, do I get my back? Do I take all my stuff with me? And I'm putting my shoes back on. And he goes, do you want to wait for Drew and Laura to come downstairs and we can all go together? And I go, oh yeah. yeah, let's do that. And I was all, dude, because I stood up so fast, I kicked the chair out from behind me and it almost fell on the ground.
Yeah.
That's how quickly when he said, oh, you
Super
said yes.
excited.
Anyway, all this to say, I went over there. And Laura was like, let me take a picture of you, because I was trying to take a selfie in front of the house. And she goes, let me take a picture of you so you can have good angles. And I was like, okay. I was so embarrassed, but at the same time, I was like fangirling and I was in my childhood again.
Yeah.
And I'll put up some pictures.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm going to put it up on my TikTok. So you guys go follow us on our TikTok. Go look at it. I'm going to make a video of it. It was surreal. And as I'm walking through there, I'm not even kidding you guys, I like 10 times I almost cried while I was walking through the Brady Bunch house. Yeah. And then when I got home, I was telling you, I was texting you and I was like, guess what I just did?
Yeah.
Right?
I thought you won $1 million with that text.
I know.
I was like, did you win $1 million?
I kind of did. I healed a little bit of my my inner child. Yeah. Here's the cool thing about all that though, because Drew had to go to another, we were on a time crunch but we were going to Uber to the next place. The driver was going to leave us and then we were going to Uber. And in my head, I was already thinking, if she says no, I have to go to the next thing. I'll say, okay, you take an Uber and I'll take an Uber. I cannot miss this.
Sure.
And Drew was like, yeah. And so she was telling Dason later on, I had to. Look at mommy. She's so fired up, man. Because they know my whole background or whatever. And so we went through it and I like 10 times already almost cried. And then I texted you and I was like, I couldn't wait to come home and tell you. Yeah. And then I was just like, it sounds so stupid. I was so excited and I almost cried 10 times. And he was like, it's not stupid.
No, not at all.
That was your world when you were little. And that's the family. Yeah. That's the house. That's the maid. That's the fucking dog that like kept me safe up here when shit was going sideways.
I'm sure there was plenty of kids that watched that show when I was when we were kids that imagined them living that life and wish, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Wishing those were my parents because they were married and had a bunch of siblings. Yeah. It was just fucking surreal, dude. I still get giddy when I think about it. And so when we came home that night, I was telling you all about it. And then I told Donovan, because I made all our kids watch Brady Bunch when they were growing up. Yeah. I was like, come lay down with me. I'm going to show you all my pictures. And he was like, okay, like, relax, crazy woman. But anyway, something like that just healed my inner child. Big and time. Watching reruns and stuff like that, I still do that to this day. Yeah, so something she does regularly is watch all those old school that you used to watch back in the day, and they're on repeat. Yeah, they're on like over and over. You know what I mean? You just love watching them, and I love watching them too because it reminds me of the kid too, and it reminds me of my childhood, and it makes me happy. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. So that's one thing. So for those of you who had asked before, what do you do to heal your inner child? Yeah. Just find the joys that you had in your youth. Yeah. That maybe you weren't able to do, or maybe you were able to do, and that kept you safe up here. And do those things.
Yeah, do them again.
So that's number one for me. What about you?
It's a good one. I don't know if mine can match up.
It's not a competition. I just had to put that at the top because that, it's pretty surreal. And I told Tate, that this is by far the coolest thing I've ever fucking done as a momager. And Tate's like, all the stuff, like Drew meeting the rock and doing it. I go, yep, that's it. That's the coolest thing. And he goes, what about the book? I go, that's number 2.
Stupid.
Well, but anyway, so that's my number 1.
It's up there. It's there. It's big.
Dude, come on.
Yeah. It's a memory. It's a serious core memory for sure.
Oh, 1,000%. Yeah. Okay. What about you?
Okay. So my number 1 that I put on when we got this title was I love to play video games. I've loved them since a kid. I still love them to this day. They keep me. I don't know what the word is to describe it, but when I play it, it keeps me.
Does it keep the anxiety at bay? Keeps you even keeled.
Yeah, and I think it's because I enjoyed it so much as a kid. Yeah. And as a kid, I didn't have all the worries and stress I do as an adult. Yeah. So when I play them, I go back into the kid, and I play them, and I love them. I've had every single system that's ever
Known
been
to
made
mankind.
since the day I started playing this thing up until this day.
Yeah.
And I'm still very interested in certain games. I still buy them, all the new ones, and I still play the hell out of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's not one of those, what are they called? First person, what are they called? The shooter games?
I think it's like, first person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't really do those ones.
No.
You do like the football and like what are the ones where the kids just watch you like they're watching a movie? What are those video games?
I want to say they're role playing. Like I think they're.
I know, but like what's a title of one that you, like the pirate ship one? Which one was that?
The pirate ship one.
Wasn't there?
Yeah, Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, Assassin's Creed. I'm a big fan.
Yeah.
All the versions, all the ones that have been out, even
Yeah.
the newest one, we're about to get it. It hasn't been released yet, but we already pre-ordered it.
Yeah.
All the football ones, Madden, I'm huge.
Yeah.
I love Madden. But video games, period. So I even have old school ones, right? Like I have my arcade one-ups. I have a couple of them that have multiple games from back in the days.
Yeah.
One of the biggest ones as a family we love to play is Tapper.
Yeah.
I still hold high score, by the way. I'm putting that out there.
Okay. So here's the thing. He holds high score because he was because we took him to Drew's house. They're the stand-up arcade games.
Yeah.
We took it to Drew's house. She has it in the pool house.
Yeah, in a pool room. Yeah.
And no one's been there. So of course you have high score because I'm not playing. So whatever. Well,
it's on there.
okay. I'm gonna report back, guys, so I can whoop his ass. Anyway. Okay.
Video games.
So
Absolutely love them.
Okay.
Yeah.
So number 2 for me, and this is so funny. When I was looking at my list again, I go, oh, I put Brady Bunch as number 1, but number 2 is Be the Mom I Wish I Had as a Child. Brady Bunch trumped me being a mom. Dude, come on. So part of what heals me as a child, my inner child, is being the mom that I wish I had when I was growing up.
Of course.
Because my mom died when I was really young. I think it was like 5 going on 6 or 4 going on 5. I can't remember. So I grew up without a mom, and then I grew up in a really crazy household with like girlfriends of my dad or whatever. So how I heal myself is I get to do the things for my kids that I didn't receive as a child. So, just being that mom
makes sense.
It helps heal me while I'm, paying it forward to my kids.
So it's almost like this is the mom I wish I had.
Yeah.
I'm going to be that to my kids.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I'm going to give them what I didn't get. I'm going to show them things that I didn't know, So like I literally, you guys did not wear makeup until I got to college because I just didn't know how to put it on and I was embarrassed. Right.
Sure.
So stuff like that. So, I'm showing the kids how to put makeup on and like basic shit because I wasn't really good at it. But like, eyeliner and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my number 2 because I want to, I wanted to kind of relive my childhood through my kids.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. That's great.
Yeah.
I love that one.
And that's like being at every sporting event and like, taking them to Disneyland, stuff like that.
Yeah,
So.
having a mommy and me day.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Did
For
all
sure.
those things.
Yeah. So that's another way I get to heal is by, living vicariously through my kids.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So what's your number 2?
My number 2 is I love to ride bikes.
Yeah.
I'm a big bike rider. You ask the kids. Dad always wants to ride a bike, but we don't.
He's like, what? This is the story I was going to tell you. What does mommy want to do for Mother's Day? Like, what should we do for mommy for Mother's Day? And Tate goes, she wants to go for a bike ride. No, I don't.
That's what Tate wants to do.
Yeah. It's either a hike or ride bikes. No, I don't. Absolutely not. But then when Father's Day comes around, I go, you want to do that? He goes, nah. I'm all, what? But it's not that I don't like riding bikes.
Sure.
It's just not my favorite thing.
Yeah, it's my favorite thing.
It's his favorite thing.
It is. I did it a lot as a kid.
Yeah.
And that brought me a bunch of joy, and I still continue to say on a different level though.
Yeah.
Because Drew bought me an e-bike.
Yeah.
It's a Super 73, and that thing's awesome.
It is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
But then I'm terrified of like motorcycles.
Sure.
I won't, I'm like, no, you're not going to get a motorcycle.
Yeah.
But the e-bike is like the next best thing. But then I, made sure we bought him a $400 helmet so that, his noggin stays intact if some idiot like swipes him. So
I just love riding around the
knock
neighborhood.
on wood, it doesn't happen, but
love riding around the neighborhood, around the city. It's just fun. It's like relaxing.
Yeah.
And again, it reminds me of being a kid. And it's like free. You
Carefree.
Just no worries. Just like, let's get there. And you're just like pedaling away. But in this case, smashing on that gas.
Yeah, see, now you're admitting that you smash on the gas. I'm like, you going
smash.
fast? And he's like, no, I'm just cruising 20 miles an hour. That thing goes up to what?
Almost 40.
Almost 40.
Yeah.
Anyway.
It's fun.
Yeah. Well, that kind of dovetails with my number 3, which is going to the beach.
Yeah, I know
And
you love
surfing.
the beach. You love the beach, yeah.
I love the beach. I love surfing.
Love the water.
I love the water. That was my escape in the summer when I didn't want to be at home. You know, I was a latchkey kid anyway. So I would literally get on the bus because we didn't have cars at the time. I mean, we're talking junior high.
Sure.
Get on the bus. Some bus drivers would let us bring our surfboards. Some wouldn't. And so we'd have to wait sometimes for another bus to come by so we can get on with our surfboard. And then we'd be at the beach by like 8 o'clock in the morning and we wouldn't come home till like 9 o'clock at night.
Crazy.
Can you imagine? I can't imagine being, how old are you in 6th grade? Like 10, 11?
I think so. 12?
I don't think, no, I think 12. No, I think you're like maybe 10 or 11, right? Being gone, like taking the bus by yourself. And I'm from Southern California. Some people might be listening to this going, we do that all the time in Oregon. Like we ride the bus all the time. But mass transit's not a big deal out here, a big thing out here in California. So I can't imagine like Donovan being 10 years old, getting on a bus with a surfboard and not coming home till like 9, 10 o'clock at night. You know what I mean? I was running the streets, but I really wasn't. I was just at the beach and hanging out and whatever. So that's my number 3.
Okay. For my number 3, I love to paint my nails.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. It's fun. It gives me joy. I don't know so much about inner child. I think I've always liked it. But as growing up, it's like you're not supposed to have them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I kind of followed suit. But as I got older, and when I start making my own choices, I started doing it, and then that makes me feel good.
Yeah.
So it's almost like someone put it in my head, hey, boys aren't supposed to have painted nails as a kid, and so that's what you grow up at. Even though inside I kind of like it. Yeah. I think it's cool. This is why I just remembered it right now. It just dawned on me. When I was a kid, my mom used to cut my nails all the time. And I remember she would sit with me and cut them, and then I would tell her, hey, paint them. And then my mom would say, no, boys don't wear painted nails. I said, well, why not? You know, and then she goes, because only girls do it. Yeah. I was so young, but I always remember how she cleaned them, how she cut them, how she, you know what I mean? And I remember liking it. And I remember liking how it felt. She did my feet too, like as a kid, I just remember the whole routine and loving it, you know? And I think that's where that comes from. Okay. You know what I mean? Yeah. I think.
Yeah. Well, and then you just started painting your nails.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I just started doing it.
2-3 months ago.
Yeah.
And so, like, you're fired up about it.
Yeah, big time. That's why I mentioned it. You know, because again, it brings back that inner child of when my mom used to, and I remember, I specifically remember my mom, hey, will you paint them? Yeah. She goes, no, only girls do that. Yeah. But I wanted to.
Did you show her a picture of, like, Steven Tyler?
I think I was, like, super young at the time.
I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Okay. My number 4 is birthday celebrations.
Yes.
I never celebrated birthdays when I was little. I specifically only remember, after we got out of foster care and then my mom passed away, then we went to go live with my dad. I only remember celebrating one birthday. And then after that, we never celebrated it. Like the way a kid expects to be celebrated with a big cake and friends and family and like presents and whatever. I just remember there was a cake, no writing. That's it. And it was like sad. And then, you know what I mean? Sure. And so when we started having kids, I'm like, nope. I'll go broke putting together a birthday celebration for our kids.
Yeah, I remember it was the same for us as kids. We didn't really celebrate. Yeah. I think I celebrated more at school because we were on the calendar. You were a kid at the calendar. You were excited to go to school because they were going to tell you happy birthday. Yeah. And they're going to celebrate you, not at home though.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and one of the things when people would sing happy birthday to me at school, because that's a great point. Yeah. Right? When the class would sing happy birthday to me and the teacher always brought a cupcake or something, right? With one little candle. The birthday song always made me cry.
Really?
Every time they would sing, I'd be like trying not to, I swear to God. And that was all the way up until 5th grade. Because by the time you get to 6th grade, you have 7 classes. Nobody cares anymore.
You're over it.
But all through elementary school, every time they sang happy birthday to me, I'd cry. And I think about it now and it's because I just felt so special. Sure. because I never got to do that at
Yeah,
home.
same.
So fast forward, we have kids.
Yeah.
We're going ham.
Yeah, all big time.
When the Sweet 16s rolled
You're
around for
doing
the
it
girls.
big. Doing it big.
When the Sweet 16, I rented out an entire historical theater,
Mm-hmm.
like an old school theater with like booths and like red velvet curtains, remember?
Mm-hmm.
And turned it into a whole breakfast at Drew's.
Yeah,
Like when
and
she
you
had
even
her
had
Sweet 16.
the billboards outside.
Yeah,
There were
the movie posters.
Yeah, up in lights.
Yeah.
Had pictures of her. And
Yeah.
all of them.
And let me tell you, those posters were not cheap because they're not on poster paper. They're on something else that this other kind of, and I didn't realize it until I got the bill and I was like, holy fuck. And then I had this one mentor who always, she's like, how's the Sweet 16 planning coming along? This was for Drew's, right?
Yeah.
We did the same for Dason, but it was, hers was the Alice in Wonderland theme. And we did it at the golf club.
Golf club. That was
But
awesome too.
That was awesome too, right? We had a bunch of stuff, but for Drew's, it was, that bill just ran away from me. I don't know what happened because I was like, ooh, let's do this and let's do this and let's put the thing up on the marquee on the outside and blah blah blah. Now playing, Drew Tyson's Sweet 16. Like it was pretty nutty. I'll put up some pictures if I can find them.
Yeah.
But she said, hey, never ever apologize for creating memories for your kids.
Yeah.
You're investing in memories and don't worry about the price tag. If you can do it, do it. And don't explain yourself to anybody.
Right.
Do it unapologetically. And I will always forever remember that.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, birthdays for me, living again vicariously through my kids, that heals something for me because I see the joy on their face and it makes me cry because I'm like, I felt like that too, except I wasn't in a theater. I was at school with one little cupcake in front of me.
I remember specifically a birthday when I was living in Samoa. My parents bought a washer and dryer, and they were saying "Happy birthday!"
I remember you telling me
Happy
that.
birthday! We got a washer and dryer.
I would rather have got nothing. Like I would, please just don't even do that. Just buy it and don't say anything. Like.
Buy it the day after.
Dude. Or buy it and then don't tell me at all until the day after.
Yeah, I remember my mom saying it as a joke and then kind of laughing as a kid.
Dude, that triggers me. That's mean.
Yeah, it's the truth.
I know. And they probably laughed about it.
They did.
Yeah, because that's our culture's sense of humor.
Yeah.
But when you look at it from my lens, that's sad.
Which is why we did what we did with our kids.
Yeah, and we still do.
Yeah.
To this day.
To this day. It's
and
a big
now
deal.
they're doing it too.
Yeah, and it's not just for kids, for each other too.
I know, for each other.
Yeah.
But I'm saying the girls and Donovan, they're doing it now for us too, for our birthdays. So,
Exactly.
not just now, but they've been.
Yeah.
But now it's just leveled up a little bit. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
All right. What's your number 4?
My number 4 is I love to give myself props.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know if that makes any sense. I remember as a kid when I would do stuff that, like, I don't know, I got an A on a test or, played a good basketball game. Or I was always like, it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
Like, no big deal. But I realized as I'm older, that is a big deal.
It is.
And you should be celebrating them. So that's how I'm really healing my inner child is I give myself props when I do cool shit. It's still hard for me.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. Because I'm still stuck in that era with the way I was raised. But I understand the importance of giving myself props, telling myself what a fucking kick-ass job you do.
High five yourself in the mirror, dude.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. High five yourself in the mirror.
Yeah.
Like, or I do this at the gym to this day.
Yeah.
Like if I hit a PR, right, a personal record, I get up and I know I'm dying, but I finish it. I get up, I have my headphones on, I'm listening to like Meg Thee Stallion in my ear. I get up and I literally go like this. And I was like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I just do it really slow and not slow, but like really like kind of low key.
Sure.
And I fucking high five myself in the gym.
Yeah.
And I did it the other day when I was doing the hip, what do you call it? Hip thrust machine. And you know how there's machines behind you?
Yeah.
So like I get up and I turn around and the guy that's on the little thing, he was like, good job. Because he saw me high five myself, and then he was high fiving me too. And I thought, dude, that's fucking cool.
Yeah.
But I love that.
Yeah, I give myself props now.
Yeah. So
And I tell myself, great job. You did good, dude.
Yeah.
Like, this is good.
yeah. So that's a lesson for you guys too.
Yeah.
That's a way you can heal your inner child.
Yeah.
I love that. All right, here's number 5. We'll do a couple more because we could talk about these all day because we're all fucked up from our childhood. That's the beauty of being an adult. You can write your own story, right? So number 5 for me, and I'm sure it's for you too, but holiday traditions.
Oh, man.
We had 0 growing up.
Yeah.
Right. So I had 0 growing up. It was just the regular stuff like Easter, we never did eggs or anything. We always went to someone else's house. Christmas, Halloween. That's it.
Yeah.
But even Halloween, no, we never decorated our house ever, not even once.
Yeah.
And for Christmas, never decorated, just had a tree.
Yeah.
That's it. And then with like 3 presents under there.
Yeah.
It was pretty sad.
Yeah.
So I always told myself, and that's not even including when I was in foster care, we did nothing.
Sure.
Unless we went to like a nonprofit organization would hold like a Secret Santa, or what do you call it? Toys for Tots kind of thing.
Sure.
So I was an angel tree kid. So if you're not familiar with that, people write not even names, but it'll say girl, age 12.
Yeah.
And then write something on there that someone wanted. Right. And so they would pick it off the tree. They would buy the present, not wrap it so they can see what it is, and put that little, angel on there, and then drop it off at the center or whatever. Or someone come collect the box.
Yeah.
I was an angel tree kid for, 4 years. And I would get 1 present a year. And so doing holiday celebrations are big. So I said, if I ever have kids, we are going to celebrate. And, we were broke as a joke, when we had the kids when they were little. But we went to Walmart, we went to Dollar Tree, and we made it special for everybody. So
there's ways you can go about it. It doesn't have to cost a lot of money.
No, it doesn't.
It's
and
the effort.
We are living proof of that. And so, and now the kids expect these certain traditions and little things that I started when they were first growing up, like an advent calendar and pozole on Christmas morning and buying a giant boxes of C's candy. Yeah. It's the only day of the year I'll let my kids, wake up and eat candy for breakfast and, stuff like that. So that's another part of how I live vicariously through my kids, and that heals me.
Sure. Sure. We did some stuff as a family. We had some traditions that we did a lot as kids regularly.
You and your family.
Yeah, in our family. So and a family period. Like that was huge when I was a kid. My mom used to have us spend a lot of time with her family.
Yeah.
And they had a bunch of kids our age, and we loved going over there. It was so much fun. It was always a special occasion. We always did stuff like that. So when we got married, I wanted to do the same thing. I wanted to bond with the kids and then have families. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's why I'm so big with it too. I understand how important it is.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. What's your number 5?
My number 5 is I love tattoos and piercings. I've always had a liking to them, but for whatever reason at the time, I had a job that didn't allow it, or I had this that didn't allow it. I was, heavily involved in church that doesn't like it. But now that I'm older and I'm a little more free thinking, I went back to them and I started getting them, and I enjoy them, and it brings me joy, and it heals that I don't know, I kind of feel like I missed out on. Yeah. That's why I'm going kind of nuts. You know what I mean? Which is probably not a good thing either, but at the same time, it brings me joy and I'm happy. Yeah. And that's I'm prioritizing that, right? Yeah. And that's a great way to think of, if you're going to think of what you want to do to heal it's all about prioritizing you, what makes you happy. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Yeah. And, just to dovetail with that, when you have childhood trauma or you're raised a certain way that doesn't align with who you are now, it's okay to remember the old stuff. Sure. It's okay to remember that and just know you get to write your own story. Yeah. That's how it started, the first chapter of your life, but that's not how it's going to end because you say so. Yeah. You say it's going to go a certain way. Yeah. And so you're like, oh, maybe it's not a good thing. I'm going crazy with the tattoos and piercing. Yeah. Who says who?
That's the humble
guy again. Exactly.
You know?
That's his personality weakness. But yeah, so just remember that. I think it's important and I honestly, you look back and people will say, well, would you change anything? And the answer is no. No. I wouldn't change anything because I went through those trials and tribulations that made me who I am today. Yeah. Right. So, okay. I love that. That's your number 5. Okay. And so we'll do like maybe 2 more each. Sure. Okay. One of mine, or the next one is, I take a lot of photos and videos. Oh yeah. A lot.
So grateful for it.
So much so that, my kids get sick of me going, okay, pose, come over here, take a selfie with me or whatever. Or I, videotape a whole bunch. But I never post them. Not never. I'm starting to post them now. Sure. But I have so much footage and photos from way back in the day all the way up until today that, you know, I just need to get organized and start posting them and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But that's my way of healing my inner child because, and not just taking pictures of my kids.
Yeah.
Fuck them kids. No, I'm just kidding. Not just taking pictures of them, but also me being in the pictures.
Yeah.
But that just recently started because I'm like, I had all these pictures and I'm in none of them.
Yeah.
Again. The reason why, I didn't even get to this part, the reason why I take a lot of photos and videos of kids is because I never had any growing up.
Right.
Because I was either in foster care, in, you know, bouncing from house to house, you know, within family. I have 0 pictures. Well, that's not true. I have like 3 pictures of me.
Sure.
One of them, I don't even know if it's me. My uncle said it's a weirdly scary bunny holding a baby from 500 feet away. Could be anybody. But anyway, they wrote my name at the bottom. I'm going to think it's me. But so I started taking pictures of all my kids so they can have pictures of themselves when they get older and they can see how they looked when they were little. But then I started thinking, I took them because I wasn't in it. You know, I didn't have any baby pictures. And then I realized, well, now I really don't have pictures because I'm always taking pictures of these fuckers. So then I started inserting myself and taking, hey, hold this camera, take a picture of me or whatever. Yeah. But then when I do that, I feel stupid. You know, because I'm like, oh, take a picture of me. But then I feel like, well, oh, I don't know. I just think, is this cringy? But then I started thinking, and this is just recently.
Sure.
Recently, like within the last 1-2 years. I don't give a fuck if it's cringy. I need pictures because when I die, I want my kids to have pictures of me.
But before the kids, there were a lot of pictures of us. True?
Not a lot.
Well, we would go. You always had a camera with you.
No, I know, but there were always pictures of you. There, if we counted them all out and put them in piles,
sure,
there would be like, just for an example, 100 of you and 3 of me.
You weren't in any of them?
I didn't say I wasn't in any of them. Of just me. No one takes pictures of just me.
Oh, right. I understand.
To this day.
Yeah, I get it.
I have to force people to do it. And then I feel stupid because I'm like, take a picture of me. And then
because you're not used to it.
I'm not used to it, and no one ever offers. Ain't that a bitch?
No one's you.
That's no excuse. That's no excuse. Anyway, so that's why I do that, is because I didn't have it when I was growing up, and it would be cool for my kids to have pictures of their mom so they actually remember what I look like.
Yeah, and I'm super grateful for them. I know in the past I've hated them. I gave you so much crap about them. Another picture, but I'm grateful for them. Seriously, I think about it to this day. We were talking about this not too long ago, but I think about it to this day. That drawer outside in the garage that's filled with them. Every time I go out there and look at them, I start to cry because all the memories come back, and then I feel, oh man, I'm so glad she took these pictures. I tell you, I'm grateful for them.
I didn't say you didn't say you were grateful for them.
Yeah.
But how about you pay it forward? Hook a sister up.
I am.
Offer to take pictures.
I am.
Anyway. All right. What's your number? What is that? 6?
6.
Yeah. So,
well, since we only have a couple, I'm gonna jump to this one. I love to play loud music in the car. This is no joke. I love to play loud. I like to play it loud. I want the people that are around me when I'm driving to hear what I'm listening to, because I'm having such a good time. And then I don't just do that, but I actually rap the songs because I love old school rap. So I listen to it and I sing the songs as loud as I can in the car with the windows up.
If you're real, you're going to roll the windows down.
No, I can't do
it. When he does that, like, he doesn't do that in the car with me because I'm like, it's too loud. Like, the bass is like, it like literally makes my teeth chatter.
Yeah.
So that little thing he does it on his own because that I'm not, I can't listen to music that loud.
Yeah. I used to do it with
it's obnoxious.
I used to do it with the girls when they were young, and I used to take them to school.
Yeah.
And I remember I used to do it so much, and I remember one time I didn't turn it on, and Drew goes, "Dad, can you put the music on?" And I was like, "Can I put the music on?"
Say less.
Boom.
Yeah, but wasn't Drew making you play the Grease soundtrack?
She was making me play everything. But
High School Musical.
Yeah, but she loved it all, and I just love doing that with them in the car, and I drop them off.
You're going to be deaf by the time
I'm probably
like
already
80.
Close.
Yeah, because he has to have surround sound in our living room in the family room and I'm like, it's not that serious. No, we got to have this. We got to have this. We got to have this. And I'm like, oh my God, just turn the movie on. He's got to like hit 50 different buttons for everything to turn on. So you gotta have the experience, babe. It's got to be the sound has to be like on point.
It's a big deal. I'm sure there's some of you that understand.
So that's the way you heal your inner child, because you probably were never allowed to listen to rap music or it being loud.
Well, not that I couldn't listen to it. I just never had a car to have my own music in it. But every time we had a radio as a kid, I remember turning it up and listening to it and singing.
You never got yelled at for it being too loud?
All the time at home.
Oh, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. Turn that down. Turn that down. I would build something in my room. My dad come in there. What is going on in there?
Yeah.
Turn that down.
Dude, when we were in high school, I had a convertible, right? I had a Cabriolet, a VW Cabriolet. And he's like, we need to change the sound system, whatever. And I was like, okay, we'll find a place or whatever. And just tell me how much it is. And okay. And he comes rolling up in my car. And if you look at a VW Cabriolet, it's a teeny tiny compact car.
Yeah.
And he had the size of the trunk. I'm not even joking. I had no more trunk after that. This giant subwoofer, and then you had, I don't even know what the fuck was in my car, but it was like I'm driving in a tall.
There was behind the backseat. There was 2 15s.
Like I don't even know what that means.
Like the size of the speaker, there were giant 15s, and they were right in the backseat.
Why?
It's awesome. That's why. It's awesome.
So annoying. See, anyway, he's been living that dream for a really long time. Okay, let's do one more.
Sure.
Okay, so for me. Let's see. One of the new things. Oh, actually, you know what? This podcast.
Oh, look at you.
This podcast is
healing your inner child. How so?
Because I get to give advice on my experience, my life experience, to young people out there who are watching this, listening to it on Spotify, and maybe they don't have the parents that we wish we had. We also had. Well, me, not you, because your parents were still married. I get to be that voice. I get to be that, comfort for others, because we get it all the time. I know I sound like a broken record, but I love to hear. My favorite compliment is, you're what I needed to hear today. Yeah. Or you're the parents I wish I had. Or my favorite is, you're the mom I wish I had, and my mom's still alive. And I was like, oh, okay.
Stop it.
Yeah, but that brings me so much joy, because I get to be that for someone else that I wish I had when I was younger. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We didn't have a podcast, we didn't have internet. We're so fucking old, dude. We didn't have any of that stuff when we were growing up. No, you know what I mean?
We did it.
We had Brady Bunch.
Yeah.
I got to watch the Brady Bunch and wish that, and hearing all the life lessons on Brady Bunch, I was like, oh, that's so deep. That's so poignant. I'm like 5. I'm like, oh, So that's the last one for me.
Okay. Yeah. So my last one is, I love to buy shoes, but within reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't like,
even when they're not within reason, if someone buys them for you, you're like, oh my God.
I know. Yeah. But it's because as a kid, I only got like a pair a month, and it was always at Payless shoe store.
Yeah.
And
even if it was per month, wasn't it like you got 2 pairs of shoes twice a year or something like
that?
Yeah,
so, like I can't
during school shopping.
Yeah, the school shopping, right? Yeah. And I remember being so fired up to get them. And I think my favorite shoe was at Payless shoe store. It was the Pro Wings. I don't know if you remember the Pro Wings.
Yeah, I had the opportunity to have those, and I'm like, I'd rather go barefoot.
Yeah.
Because in my school, you were made fun of if you had Pro Wings.
Yeah, but
I grew up with a bunch of rich white kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, they were generic.
I know what they are.
It's generic, but I still loved them.
Yeah.
And I remember my mom saying, you can get some. Let's just find your shoe size. And I said, I was so fired up. She said, you could put them on to try them on. So I put them on in the store, and I started running in the aisles. And my mom's all, what are you doing? And I was like, I'm testing them out.
Yeah.
And my mom's all, take those things off. So I took them off and put them in the box. She bought them. And so how it worked as a kid is, those shoes I wore to school and school only. As soon as I came up from school, they went off my feet and back in the closet, and I went outside to play in my bare feet.
Yeah.
I wasn't allowed to wear my school shoes other than school.
Oh, okay.
Because they were supposed to last. You know what I'm saying? I had school clothes as well that I had to take off.
Yeah.
And then put on my play clothes. But I didn't have shoes on my feet when I went outside to play. I was always barefoot.
Yeah.
That's just the way I was raised. So as an adult now, man, I love shoes.
Yeah.
I love freaking shoes, but within reason, man. It's crazy. I'm only one person with 2 feet, but I have so many. Like I kind of like cringe a little when I look at the stack of shoes I have. But that's just me healing my inner child. Man.
Yeah.
I love shoes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that, and I'm sure a lot of you guys out there too. Like, it's called having grown up money. right? When growing up, my dad would be like, "Oh, do we go to McDonald's? You have McDonald's money?" I'm like, "Fuck." You know what I mean? As soon as that's why I've always had 3 jobs, you know?
That's
2, 3
another one
jobs.
too. That's such a good one. Eating junk food.
Or just eating
out.
whatever you want.
Yeah, eating out.
I was not allowed to have sugar. We weren't allowed to chew gum.
Same.
Like nothing.
Same. I remember my dad would buy us McDonald's like once a year, probably. Maybe, and I'd get just a cheeseburger and fries and just be super fired up about it.
Same.
But I wouldn't have a soda. I didn't have soda. Where the fuck does soda go?
Yeah.
But I'd drink water, which was fine.
Nope.
It was just fine.
As soon as I got a job when I was 14 years old, because I lied and said I was 16, and I don't know why they believe me because I looked like I was 10.
Because you have that personality.
Yeah. Watch the last episode. Yeah. I'm very charismatic. I did. I would dude, I would finagle my way into everything. But as soon as I got my first check, and I want to say my first check was like $98 or something like that. And I was like, oh my God, I'm rich. I went and cashed that bitch. I didn't even have a bank account. I went to a check cashing place because I didn't know how to do it.
Sure.
And grew up with like basically no parents.
So they took
I had to
probably
figure
$10
it out.
of your money.
Yeah. So I'm like, who the hell is FICA or whatever, FICO? You know, who the hell, what is this tax for? Because I thought, I added it all up and I'm like, I should get like $125 or whatever. And I'm like, $98. But I thought I was rich.
Yeah.
Went to cash my my check. I went straight to McDonald's. I'm not even joking. It was literally 2 blocks away from my job.
Yeah.
I went straight to McDonald's
And
I bought a Big Mac value pack.
Nice.
Back in the 80s, you'll know what I'm talking about. I bought a Big Mac value pack, which is a Big Mac, a large fry, large Diet Coke. And then mind you, I'm 14, right? And then I had a chocolate sundae, a caramel sundae, and a fish fillet.
Yeah.
And I ate every crumb, every morsel of that.
Felt good the whole time.
And I felt great. And then I had to walk 5 miles home because I didn't have a bike, I didn't have a car, I didn't have anything.
Just burned it off.
Yeah, I didn't care. But I walked home super satisfied. And I remember specifically that was my very first paycheck. Yeah. So that was the first thing I did. Went and bought McDonald's.
Yeah, I remember when we first started hanging out, you always wanted to go out to eat. And I remember thinking, man, this is amazing.
Yeah, because you never went out to eat.
And then Taco Bell at the time, I remember had like 20-cent tacos or something like that. And I'd be like, give me 20.
Give me 500 of them.
Yeah, like regular tacos and soft tacos. Like I just had this pile. And I remember just being super fired up.
Yeah. Because he was like, man, I hit the jackpot with this sugar mama. I was like, bring another round of Mexican pizzas
and then
for everybody.
Large Coke.
Yeah, dude.
Diet Coke.
Come on, man. So anyway, that's how we heal our inner child. I'm sure you guys have a bunch. And if you do, write them down and go do them.
I know.
Right? And if you're already doing them, drop a comment and let us know what you've been doing to heal your inner child because we would love, love, love to hear it. Yeah.
And this is what it is, literally, like what we just explained to you. This is literally what it is. Go find that, man.
You're like doing it. You're having a do-over.
Yeah,
right?
pretty much.
And remember, you get to write the rest of your story. Nobody else does.
Exactly.
You say what happens next.
Yeah.
And if that means eating at McDonald's or, well, they're on the blackball list right now, but like, eating at Chili's every night or whatever.
Just eating out in general.
Go do it.
Go do it.
And just revel in every moment. So anyway, that is episode number 34, you guys. In the books.
In the books.
I'm super excited. We didn't even do this at the beginning.
Let's close it with
So we'll close it out. And we don't have a quote of the day because we forgot. But that's okay. You'll forgive us. But we love you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to like, follow, and share. We have a TikTok. We have a Facebook. And we have an Instagram. And we have this podcast. So.
And one more thing. It's never too late to heal that inner child.
Yeah. Absolutely. That's what we've been talking about the whole time. So that's why I said, let's have a do-over and you write the rest of your story. All right, you guys, thank you so much. And we'll see you next time. Bye. I'm sitting here staring at you, waiting for you to do it.
Oh, sorry, honey. I'm ready. Yeah, let's go, man.
All right. Ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1.